This is Providence Television International, the game changer. Stand by for the next program.
Yes, the next program is actually the newspaper analysis on the Morning Drive Providence Television International. My name is Ugbebo Ikikwa, and with me to analyze the papers this morning is our boss, Providence Television International, Dr. Emmanuel Egariba.
Yes, a very beautiful day, beautiful indeed, and I hope we're all beautiful people. Thank you very much for being with us.
I will delve straight to the papers. We'll be starting with the Guardian newspapers, and on the front page, we have inflation-weary Nigerians begging, borrowing for survival.
Could that be an understatement? I hope it's not. Honestly, I hope it's not. But it's obvious from what the Guardian newspaper is saying that Nigerians now are begging for food. There's no doubt about it. Most people now are the receiving end. Even when you're just managing to survive, people will still come and meet you.
Yes.
That they also want to survive. It's as bad as that. And everybody is virtually looking forward to a day when things will be better off in this country. We are hoping, we are praying that God Almighty will touch our leaders and they will take a second look at the economic policies that we have now. It's strange, though, that we've not had a backlash as such. But that's not to take things for granted. Nigerians are really, really in pains, in agony, in anguish. They are in sorrow because this is a country that is overblessed with all kinds of resources. And yet, the majority of Nigerians are in poverty, which is an irony, rarely spoken of, but that's the truth. But I'm happy that the many world bodies have said that, yes, Nigeria has a population that I think is in the neighborhood of about 70% in the poverty web.
Yes.
That is not good enough. That is not good enough at all. And we just are grateful that Nigerians have this resilience. They can absorb a lot of shocks. They have remarkable shock absorbers. But it cannot be taken for granted, okay? So the government, particularly, I keep talking about this, the index in all of this is the fuel price. Is the fuel price hike. And again, the floating of the Naira, for example. I understand, I think one of the papers talked about it, that the Naira is now about 1,700
exactly.
in the parallel market.
Yes.
That means there is a consistent downward turn in the economy. Something must be done, and something must be done very urgently. I'm happy still that a lot of Nigerians have spoken about this from across the divide.
Okay.
Whether you're from the south, from the east, from the north, or from the west, there's a commonality of interest now. Obviously, everybody is talking about how the economy will grow and how Nigerians can live a better life. So it rests on government. Economic policies can change. They can be altered. That's why I was talking about hubris just yesterday. This is not a question of pride anymore. We must tackle the thing head on and make sure that the majority of Nigerians are moved away from the poverty web.
All right.
Yeah.
Such statements by the governor of the central bank, Cardoso, that Nigeria's economy has thrived under the past 1 year. How does it make you feel?
I don't know if they are living on the moon. I mean, obviously, the indices, I mean, you must look at the indices, simple economics. I mean, when the index says, yes, it's on the upward swing, it must show. It must show. It's not rocket science. It must show that there's a plus for the way we live and from the market forces, for example. So I don't know where Cardoso is getting all these things from. And a lot of people have criticized him very much. In fact, that's why people are saying that he should be removed. Yes, because I don't know, and he's supposed to be somebody in charge of an institution that regulates inflation. That's the central bank. And it's coming out with all this kind of phantom stories. Phantom. They are out of reality. Because I'm sure that he doesn't even... Let Cardoso go on the street. and say that I'm the governor of the central bank and say that kind of thing. No, you should just test it. Let him test the waters, because Nigerians are angry. Okay? So we'll just rest it there. I think our policy providers should know what they are talking about at every point in time.
Okay. All right. Still on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, Power Minister denies multiple grid collapses, blames minor trip-offs.
Well, I'm not an engineer, but minor trip-offs. What do we say now? I mean, the whole country, half of the country was in darkness yesterday. And you call that a minor trip-off?
And about 80% of media outfits reported that grid collapse. So
yes.
Is this a matter of
what are we talking about?
PRO?
Why are people hiding under falsehood? It just doesn't make sense. And that's what I've always said. I think President Tinubu does not know the nature of the people he has around him. They are not telling him the truth. Yes. And the what do you call it now? The collapse.
Yes.
How many times within?
8 times. That was us. Yes, 8 times within.
8 times within a year.
Within the year.
And we made a simple analysis yesterday. That's probably on the average of 1 collapse in a month.
It collapsed twice within 2 days. That yesterday, it first happened about 10 something,
about?
And then in the early hours of the morning.
People are not saying the truth.
Yes.
There is so much subterfuge in the system. There's so much deception. Say the truth, because the Bible says, say the truth, and the truth shall set you free. All right? And people, there's a cocoon. I mentioned it yesterday. The presidency is in a cocoon. Let the president come out and feel the pulse of the people. Not these people telling him all kinds of funny stories. Let the president come out and tell the people, yes, Nigeria is in pains, but we need to synergize properly. Because you see, as I've often said on this station, the generality of the people cannot be in pain and the leaders are in luxury. No. It just shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be. When the people are happy, the leaders, of course, that's where they are happier. Oh, the people are happy. Oh, we too should be happy. Not when the people are sad and you are living a luxurious lifestyle. Where does that lead us? Where does that lead us? Nigerians are hungry, and a hungry man evidently is an angry man. Yes, it's obvious. Exactly. Yes, it's obvious. I said it before. All these government officials, let them go. Of course, they don't go to filling stations. Let them go incognito and hear what people are saying about what they are going through. I felt bad. By a couple of weeks ago, I went to buy fuel somewhere. And I felt bad because as a Nigerian, I didn't like what they were saying. Okay. Yes, as a Nigerian, I felt bad. And I also said it here. Let them come with a battalion of, somebody was saying it, battalion of security agents. I will say what I'm saying. That's what somebody said. Yes. Meaning that they are not even scared anymore of saying the things they were saying because they've been driven to the wall. Exactly. And when the officials, top officials of government, saying things that are contrary to reality, there's cause for worry. Honestly, there's cause for concern, there's cause for worry.
Moving on that line, cause for worry, we'll move straight to the Vanguard newspapers, where we have Super Eagles Libyan horror show. Highest authority ordered diversion of flight. This is coming from the pilot, and it says such unexpected diversion can compromise safety. National Assembly blasts 6 Libyan government's apology as Senate calls for probe. 6 stiffer penalties for Libya. Reps ask federal government to summon Libyan ambassador to Nigeria, just as Eguavon says he's still in shock.
Eguavon is in shock. That's personal. What of Nigerians? They're in greater shock. For instance, I said it yesterday. You see, sports has become international politics. In fact, there's no way you can divorce sports from politics. All right? And I mean, a lot of countries, particularly in South America, they've gone to war because of sports. Yes. It's a sensitive area that touches the nerves of people. And listen to this. When this thing happened to the Eagles, a lot of Nigerians, many Nigerians, they forgot about their political divide. Exactly. And they were united for one purpose. Let us speak to show anger for what happened to the national side. Okay? It was deliberate, to say the least. Because before you take off, you must connect. Yeah, that's what the rule said. You must connect with your destination. All right. And there was no problem until they were very near Benghazi. And they were now told that, no, you cannot land. And I said it yesterday. Suppose there was just little fuel.
Yes.
There would have been a crash landing somewhere. Okay. But I'm happy that the federal government is reacting to this very positively. But it's beyond the federal government. Let us take it down to the African Union. All right? And let us also take it to FIFA. Because FIFA is the world governing body for football. So if anything happens in any region, FIFA has a role to play. Let us report to FIFA and let Libya know that there could be reprisals. I said yesterday, suppose we have another tournament and Libya is supposed to come to Nigeria. Exactly. They must settle this once and for all. Yes. Although the CAF is saying that, oh yes, Nigeria is to blame, somewhere Libya is to blame. That's not what we want. What happened that day that Nigeria was subjected? It was not just the Eagles. It was the whole country that was subjected to misery. All right? And that misery also translates to disgust. Reeling with disgust. I mean, that's what Nigeria was. So I pray that they will follow this to the letter. And I'm happy, though, that even the National Assembly has spoken much about this. And I hope that there will be a position paper on this. I've suggested, straight to African Union, CAF, and then, of course, to FIFA. Because this thing can happen again and again. That's the danger.
All right. We'll move to the front page of the Nation newspapers, where we have Soludo says local government councils can't be autonomous. If you remember, I mentioned some time ago about flouting judgments, verdicts by the Supreme Court. They have said, go ahead, local governments can be autonomous. And then the governor of a state is coming out to say that it can't be autonomous.
Oh, that's Nigeria for you. That's Nigeria for you. Many of the governors, of course, you know that they are very lawless, you know. And it's translating to even individuals, disobeying court orders. That is why I think that the Chief Justice, the Honorable Chief Justice, must stand by her words that, look, there must be serious reforms in the judiciary. Because you cannot begin to have the Supreme Court, for instance, the apex court in the land, making a pronouncement and is on the verge of being flouted by the governor. Because that pronouncement became law.
Yes.
By that simple fact, it became law. But this is even more ridiculous. Do you know that some local governments are even saying that they want to go along with the governors? Maybe that's what is happening with Soludo. Some local governments are saying, no, we want to be with the governor. We want to be under the umbrella of the government. Even when the Supreme Court has said that you people have been left of the shackles and fetters, right? Because they were in fetters, tied to the apron strings of their respective governors. But, well, this is Nigeria, typically Nigerian, and that statement has not come to me as a surprise, I must tell you, because very soon you will hear that many governors are saying what Soludo has just talked about, because they want to put their hands in the till so that local government can be like the parastatal under them. Many governors are wishing that the Supreme Court did not say that kind of thing. But the court has spoken. That's the law. The court has spoken, and it's final. Except perhaps they will not say, no, the Supreme Court, there was an error. They go back to the Supreme Court. And I see it coming. Yes.
Well, front page, Daily Trust newspapers. Naira plunges to 1,700 Naira per dollar at parallel market.
This is October.
Yes.
What happens just before Christmas?
Okay.
It might hit 2,000 or more.
Yes.
Okay? That's my prediction. I'm not a prophet of doom. But it has happened in this country before, even when the Naira was healthy. When Christmas is coming like that, it shoots up. Now it's 1,007. And the question people are asking, simple question. Why did we have to float the Naira? Why did we have to float the Naira? We floated the Naira and then price hike. If you go to New Benin Market, we are talking from Benin now for the interest of people around the world who are watching. If you go to New Benin Market, even the woman selling gari will tell you, Oga, don't you know that the Naira has... even when she doesn't know anything about it, but she hears that the Naira has plummeted so badly. She will tell you, if you don't know, she will force it down your throat, that you ought to know that there's been an increase in exchange rate. So that's what it is. Not to even talk of spare parts.
Exactly.
Those ones are more enlightened. Spare parts dealers will tell you And the tragedy of it all, I'll tell you this. The tragedy of it all is you go in the morning, you buy at a specific price, and then go again in the evening. To the same place. And the thing has skyrocketed. Yeah. So what are we talking about? In this same economy, let us bring the naira down. It's not helping us. The monetary policy, again, the central bank, they are involved in this. The monetary policy of the central bank is not helping us. There's so much ineptitude there. And that's what is driving us crazy in this country. Everything we talk about now, it revolves around the exchange rate, rightly or wrongly, and coupled with the fuel price increase. So you can see why Nigerians are so angry. Yes.
Well, talking about anger, uproar. This is on the front page of the Daily Sun. Uproar in Senate over push to test politicians for drugs. Lawmakers disagree on narcotics agency. Some politicians fueling drug abuse use homes as storage for narcotics. This is coming from Kau.
This must be about the biggest scandal this year. If it's true, I mean, that newspaper couldn't be lying.
Yes.
It must be one of the biggest scandals. And why are they even raising this issue? Because the way some of our National Assembly members behave should tell you that all is not well upstairs. The way they behave, some of their utterances. Yes. Our Nigerians are in sync with the suggestion that they must go through the test. Exactly. You can see now that has created a divide.
Exactly.
Some who are not drug users, they will say, yes, why not? Some who are probably suspect, they will say, no, it's a no-go area, don't go there. Actually, it shouldn't even be, if we get it right, it shouldn't be that we must now subject our National Assembly members, all legislators for that matter, to drug test. Why should it be? If this nation is working appropriately. But a lot of people will applaud this kind of decision. But I can tell you it won't sail through. I can tell you for free that it won't sail through. Whoever suggested it will be overwhelmed. But it's not helping us. It's not helping us. Nigeria has gone haywire. We need tests, not just for the legislators, even for drivers on the streets. They need to go through tests. People need to go through tests. Because in the case of the legislators, it's as a result of their habit, for instance. But for ordinary people, it's the economy that is driving them crazy. Yes. How do they survive? Urgent daily survival is driving them crazy. So that's why you see bus drivers, they drive recklessly. And yes, I've always thought about this. Before you give license, thank God that's even on the burner now. Yes. Before you get driver's license, go for a test. And I can tell you that 50% of people who apply will not pass the test. I can tell you. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I'm looking at environmental issues. Okay? So that issue in the National Assembly should also percolate down to the state houses of assembly, right? And even some chief executives of states. Is it not Soludo who is saying this now?
Yes.
Is it not the governor of the state?
Exactly. That's a local government
that was made by the Supreme Court. The governor is saying no. What do you say of that? Yes. There's a lot of substance abuse in this country. I wish you could take that again, that newspaper. Somebody I don't know who said that some houses are used as storage places.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Storage for narcotics.
For narcotics. Look at the weight, and this is quite evident. Look at the weight of substances that comes into this country. Substances that have been seized. But what amazes me as a person is that yes, we seize these substances. We do not go to the bottom of it.
Exactly.
People involved. Drug business is a cartel. It's like a mafia. Why can't we get to the very bottom? People order those things into this country.
Of course.
Right? We should. But immediately they are seized either at the point of entry, Murtala Mohammed International Airport or Port Harcourt. That's the end. That's the end. Government should do well to follow that story up. Where are the houses that are being used for the storage of narcotics? That story, it was given headline, was it not?
Yes.
Headline story.
Headline story, yeah.
Headline story. Look at it. Uproar in Senate.
Yes.
Over push to test politicians for drugs. Uproar. That means there's a divide
Right.
already. Some are for it, some are against it. Government itself should go into it. Why must people be against it? There must be reasons. And the rider there is some houses are being used as storage facilities.
Exactly.
Yes. This is where DSS should even go in. Yes. DSS should go in because it's the secret police of this country. They should go in and find out if what the newspaper is saying is right or wrong. Yes. To save us the embarrassment. Right.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Well, I guess you've actually enjoyed today's episode. It's been quite an interesting one, quite some stories there. Well, on this note, don't actually go away. Today actually happens to be World Food Day. The interview segment comes up next.